We are going to start the anatomy and physiology 2 from second semester. In unit 1, we have nervous system. In the nervous system, we have organization of nervous system, neuron, neuroglia, classification and properties of nerve fiber, electrophysiology, action potential, nerve impulse, receptors, synapse, neurotransmitter. Here, neuron is the mainly they ask in 2 marks, but if they want, they ask in 5 marks also. And then important is classification properties of nerve fiber. They ask rarely, but if they want, they ask in 5 marks. Then synapse and neurotransmitter is the important part. So let's see the nervous system. Nervous system. At first, we have to know the what is nervous system. We all know that body consists of several nerves. The nervous system is the most complex system of the human body. Nerves mainly passes the senses. It is a body's command center, major controlling coordinating system. It is a center of all mental activities, including thought. It is also responsible for maintaining homeostasis. So, basic function of nervous system. What is the basic function? Basically, three function we have. It is sensory, integration, and motor. What is the sensory? Sensory is impulse or information goes into the brain but does not get organized into appropriate response. Integration to process and interpret or analyze the sensory input. Then motory. Motory to respond appropriately to the sensory input. Now coming to the organization of nervous system. We can call it the classification of nervous system also. It is important for 2 marks. The nervous system, central nervous system to peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system, motor, sensory. Motor nervous system, somatic and autonomic. Somatic nervous system, voluntary movement via skeletal muscle. Autonomic nervous system, involuntary movement via organs, smooth muscle. And autonomic nervous system further classified into sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. It also can ask in 5 marks also. Then cells of the nervous system. Neuron and neuroglia. Neuron is important for 2 marks. So coming to the neuron, they can ask the structure and function of neuron, and they can ask the like this explain the anatomy of neuron or the draw the neat level diagram of neuron. What is the neuron? Neuron are the basic structure and function unit of nervous system. It is also known as nerve cell. We are seeing that this is the diagram of neuron. Neuron mainly compose three parts: cell body, dendrite, and axon. Now coming to the cell body, it is also known as soma. The cell body is the central region containing nucleus, is the site of all major metabolic activity of the cell. The cytoplasm of neuron is known as neuroplasm, and the ribosome of neuron called is Nissal's granules. This is the cell body of neuron. Now coming to the axon. Axon is a thin, long cylindrical process extension that arises from the cell body of neuron. We are seeing this. This is the axon. The area of axon where myelin sheath is absent known as node of Ranvier. And the site from which axon is extended from the cell body is known as axon hillock. Now we are seeing the dendrite. What is the dendrite? Dendrites are also the extension of cell body that receives stimulus or nerve impulse from other neurons and sends them to the cell body. Now coming to the classification of neurons. What is the classification? Neurons can be classified in the basis of three categories: on the basis of polarity, on the basis of function, on the basis of myelin sheath. On the basis of polarity, then unipolar, bipolar, pseudo-polar, multipolar. What is the unipolar? Unipolar, these are the neurons in which cell body has single process. And bipolar, these are those neurons in which cell body is two process. And pseudo unipolar, this neuron has single process, but further this process divided into two other process. Multipolar neuron, these are the neurons in which cell body has multiple process. Now on the basis of function: sensory neuron, motor neuron, interneuron. Sensory neuron, they are also known as afferent neurons. They carry nerve impulse from tissue and organs to the central nervous system. Motor neuron, they are also known as efferent neurons. They carry nerve impulse from central nervous system to the efferent organ. Interneuron, they are also known as association neurons. They are found exclusively on central nervous system. They connect sensory and motor neuron. On the basis of myelin sheath, on the basis of presence and absence of myelin sheath, neurons can be further divided: myelinated and non-myelinated. Myelinated, these neurons are covered by a thick layer of myelin sheath, and non-myelinated, these neurons do not contain myelin sheath. Special properties of neurons. Properties of neurons: conductive, conductivity, excitability, refractory period, unfatigability, all are non-low accommodation. Excitability, it is the ability of neurons or nerve fibers to respond to various stimuli and convert item into nerve impulse. Conductivity. Conductivity, it is the ability to nerve fiber to conduct nerve impulse along its length. Refractive period, when the nerve fibers is once excited, it will not respond to any other stimulus for a selective time period, and this time period is known as refractive period. And fatigability, it is the ability of nerve fibers to get fatigued even if they receive continuous stimuli. All or none law, it is the one of the most important property of nerve fibers. Nerve fiber gets excited only at a particular threshold strength. Either they will give maximum response or they give no response. Accommodation, if the continuous stimuli is applied to the nerve fibers, then it will decrease the excitability of nerve fibers. Coming to the neuroglia, they can ask in 2 marks. They are also known as non-neuronal or glacial cell. These are the supporting cells of neurons but do generate not or conduct nerve impulse. Function, what is the function? They provide nutrition to neurons. They protect neurons from pathogens. They provide structure and functional support to neuron. They form myelin sheath. Nucleoglia, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Astrocyte, epidermal cell, oligodendrites, microglia, and peripheral, Schwann cell, satellite cell. Astrocytes, these are the most abundant neuroglia cell. These are found in large number near blood vessel. They are star shaped. We can see here. They form and maintain blood-brain barrier. Dendrocytes. They are smaller compared to astrocyte. They are the supporting network of neuron. Epidermal cell. They secretes and absorbs CSF in cerebrospinal fluid. They form epithelial lining of brain and spinal cord. Microglia. They are the smaller neuroglial cell. They are divided from monocytes. Schwann cell. They are the major glacial cell in PANS, peripheral nervous system. They are also known as neurulema cell. Satellite cell. They form extracellular space of nervous system. They provide physical support to neurons. Now coming to the electrophysiology. This is not so much important, but we have to know what is the electrophysiology of neuron. Neuron is a special type of cell found in our nervous system which is able to generate or carry and transmit nerve impulse. Electrophysiology is nothing but the study of electrical properties of neuron. Now we have to know the what is the action potential. They can ask the action potential in 2 marks. An action potential is the potential difference generated across the membrane of neuron due to disbalance of positive and negative charge, which ultimately give rise to the generation of nerve impulse. Events during generation of action potential: polarization, depolarization, repolarization, and hyperpolarization. Polarization, it is also known as resting stage. At this stage, no stimulus comes, hence no any action potential generate. Depolarization, when stimulus come, it deactivates sodium potassium pump. Repolarization, now when wave of depolarization passed from one part of membrane to another, voltage gated Na plus channel again gets closed and now voltage gated potassium plus channel opens. Hyperpolarization, although membrane again becomes repolarized but still potassium plus ion channel still remains open. Now, due to this, potassium ion continues passing outside of membrane and membrane potential becomes negative 90 millivolt, which cause hyperpolarization. Now, the nerve impulse. They can ask in 2 marks what is the nerve impulse. A nerve impulse is a message in the form of electrical signals generated inside the neuron as a result of action potential developed due to the arrival of stimulus. Now coming to the synapse. A synapse is a junction between two neurons where transmission of nerve impulse takes place. Definition is important. Synapse allow communication between two neurons and other cells through the use of neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter transmit signals from presynaptic neuron to postsynaptic neuron. Classification of synapse: chemical and electrical. What is the chemical? A chemical synapse is a junction between two neurons through which signals are transmitted by the release of chemical neurotransmitter. In the chemical synapse, there is no continuity between two neurons because of presence of a space called synaptic cleft. Here we can see this is the synaptic cleft, and this is calcium ion channel, presynaptic neuron, and here is the postsynaptic neuron. Electrical synapse. Electrical synapse is a type of a synapse in which there is a direct connection between presynaptic and postsynaptic neuron. This is the gap junction. Here presynaptic and postsynaptic. Neurotransmitter. What is the neurotransmitter? Neurotransmitter are the chemical messengers that transmit signals from one neuron to another across a synapse. Neurotransmitters are generally packed in a synaptic vessel. They are very important for rapid transfer of nerve impulse between two neurons. They can ask in 2 or 5 marks. Now coming to the types of neurotransmitter on the basis of chemical nature and on the basis of function. On the basis of chemical nature, it is three types: amino acid, amines, others. Including the amino acid consists GABA, glutamate, glycine, aspartate. In amines, adrenaline, noradrenaline, histamine, dopamine. Others, acetylcholine, nitric oxide. On the basis of function, on the basis of function, this is excitatory neurotransmitter and inhibitory, and both. What is the excitatory? These neurotransmitter act by stimulating the target neurons. Example: acetylcholine, adrenaline, serotonin, etc. Inhibitory neurotransmitter. These neurotransmitters act by inhibiting the target neurons. They increases the outflux of potassium ions outside the cell and cause repolarization. Example: GABA, glycine, etc. And both is a neurotransmitter which contains both excitatory and inhibitory properties are classified in this group. This is acetylcholine and dopamine. The next topic we will start in our next video. There we will start the central nervous system. uh, if you like this video, please like, and if you have any problem or doubt, please comment. We will provide the notes in our telegram group. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.